welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to do a follow-up on what I said at the beginning of the month I was going to read and what happened and what I liked and all of those kind of things. So let's just start right off with it. I started off with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This took me a little longer than I hoped to get through, considering how short it is. This is very, what's the easiest way to describe it? It is British humor. I enjoy British humor, but this one was a little bit out there for me in particular. I enjoyed it. Some parts didn't feel as cohesive as I would have liked. And so I decided after I finished, I was going to watch the movie. And so I watched the movie, the 2005 version, the one with Martin Freeman and Zooey Deschanel. And that kind of helped pull together the parts that didn't feel cohesive as I read. And that might have been because I picked it up, read a bunch, put it down for a while, picked it up, read a bunch, and put it down for a while. So that might have been why it wasn't as seamless as I read it. But that one I've heard is the best adaptation of the book, and so I read that one. Now, be warned, if you watch the movie, it includes other books that aren't just Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. There's more than just this one book. And so keep that in mind as you watch. But in general, I enjoyed it. I don't think my life is any better or worse for reading it. It was a fun read. It was fairly quick once I made myself just sit down and read it. I read the last half like in a day, but it's one of those things that I feel like I've been christened into geek culture officially, I guess, is the easiest way to kind of describe it. So one book off my bucket list of reading, which is very, very, very long. So would I recommend this to everybody? It depends on the person. This is not everybody's kind of book. If you like British humor, yes, go read it if you haven't. If you're not a big fan of British humor and you're always like, huh, what? Then I wouldn't bother. The second book is the one I've been reading on Sundays, was Eve and the Choice Made in Eden. I'm still reading this. It is a reference book, so I like to take my time with reference books. I like to delve in. I only read small portions at a time. That's all I got read this month. We had a lot of stuff going on Sunday, so I didn't get quite as much reading time as I normally would have. And there were some Sundays where we weren't feeling well, so all we did was kind of loaf around. And so this one, it's going to stay on my list. It's still my Sunday reading book for September. And after I'm done with this, I'll be doing its companion book called Eve and the Mortal Journey that I got for my birthday. So that's staying on my list. The other thing I had on my TBR this month was the Graceling series. So here's the thing. I didn't get nearly as much reading done as I wanted to this month. So these as well are staying on my list. I'm just barely into Graceling. I'll have a lot more time to read in September. August was kind of a busy, crazy month at work and all those kind of things. So I didn't get as much read as I'd like to. So these are staying on my list. As for the book club book this month, it just didn't really interest me, and so I didn't read it. So really, I only read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy this month, which is lame of me. I usually read much more than that. So I'm basically going to keep my list the same for September's for my TBR list. That's to be read for those of you who don't know. And if I get done with that, then, well, I'll have September's book club book, which I'll find out in a couple days. I'll find out by September what that's going to be, and I'll list that down below when I find out what it is. Or, well, I guess if I'm going to read it, I'll list it down below. I didn't ever end up listing the one for August because it just didn't float my boat. It wasn't my kind of book. If you have book recommendations, I would love to hear them. I'm fully intending to dive into some Brandon Sanderson when I'm done with this. Probably start with Warbreaker. Kind of move on from there, Mistborn series, all those kind of things. My husband really loves Brandon Sanderson, and so I need to be able to connect with him and talk to him about those kind of things. And everything I hear is magnificent. The majority of my friends have read all of his books, and so it's one of those things where I'm way behind in my area when it comes to that, so I really need to just pick them up and read them finally. Like I say, if you have any book recommendations, please list them down below. I would love to try things out. I really want to make reading more of a priority in my relaxation time. So hope you enjoyed this video. Like if you did, please subscribe to see more, and I'll see you later.